Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nick. Usually go by the handle of Martian in the Human's Body. Today I'm doing my first video. It's a recap video of a recent game of Babylon 5, the collectible card game that I played with my brother. We are playing with physical cards, but via web camera, so you can see each other's play area. Um, we have considered playing with some plug-in tools for other card game open source apps like Lackey or Vassal, but for now we like playing with the cards themselves, and it's just the two of us, so it's not too bad. I guess it's one of the good things about doing a one versus one person. A downside to that is perhaps maybe a little bit too easy to go into an all-out attack, which you'll see soon enough in the game. So bear with me on the maybe the roughness of this production. This is my first time doing this, but hopefully this will become a regular thing. My brother and I, we tend to play probably once every 2 weeks. This one did turn into probably one of our longest games. It's about 4.5 hours long, and yeah, it's not normally takes that long before we stop playing. But so let's get into it. So we have here. Let's load these things up here. The center place is just I have Lackey open up there so I can search the cards that are being played, so I can give you a better view, a description of the cards happening. I'll be playing the video, and I'll be able to hear us talking. So we're explaining the actions we're doing, and I'll kind of explain it better to you. There may be a few times where I have to pause the video just to quickly explain something, or even skip ahead if it's a point where maybe we had a quick small break, but I'll skip ahead to keep things moving. So let's give that a start there. So I'm going to go ahead and push play. Again, you won't be able to hear the game video unless you maybe picking up a little bit on my mic from my headset, but let's give it a go. Okay, I'm going to push play here. Now we're just deciding about any conflicts. Sometimes there's a conflict on the first turn, but not this time. Okay, so I'm putting out Nightwatch Collaborators. You'll see that the cards sometimes are upside down. On the actual game itself, my brother unfortunately actually has to play with my cards upside down. I've flipped the video for this rebroadcast. So I'm playing the Nightwatch Collaborators. Let me find that for us. So Nightwatch Collaborators. This is kind of the crux of my game. Now I've just recently gotten a set of cards from on eBay of the kind of a 50 common, 50 uncommon from the Severed Dream set. These are all new cards to me, basically. Also my brother. I've kind of set aside roughly half of the cards that I'll be sending to him soon enough. Kind of tend to do that. But yeah, this one allows me to, as I make my characters Nightwatch, I can give them some extra diplomacy, intrigue, or a conspiracy mark. So and now I'm playing my agenda. This is all part of my opening turn. Our people. That's how I'm hard time searching for it here. but basically that agenda there is, or is it our people first? Um, it's I could put it out without rotating, so it's already. I'm just going to hide this while I'm not showing a card here. But basically that agenda, I can bring it out without rotating, um, because I have the group out, so that agenda gives Night Watch. Okay, so now we're finishing the first turn. We're passing and readying our cards. He brought out Linear. He also did Muster of Support, which is a very straightforward starting card. Muster Support here. That's going to allow him to build up his characters with some discounts. I will mention ahead of time, we do make mistakes. We're prone to that, I guess. And yeah, there's a couple times you forgot to apply that discount. Malcontent is, let me pull him up. Malcontent. Gotta keep up with our play. It's pretty bad. Basically, it's a standard Night Watch character. He's cheap to bring out. If I get him Night Watch, I get extra diplomacy, intrigue, a little bit better to attack. So obviously, the goal is to try to give my character the Night Watch via so that agenda. It allows you to initiate conflicts, diplomacy or intrigue, you decide. If that wins, you target one of your characters. If that wins, they get the Night Watch text. And then the group will then either give them diplomacy, +2 diplomacy, +1 intrigue, or a conspiracy mark. At the beginning, I focus more on the conspiracy marks. It'll become clear soon. So again, we're finishing that turn. He's promoted Linear to the inner circle. Yeah, I'm rereading the text about to my brother. My brother's name is Pat, in case I set up and say his name. That's his name. Yeah, so every now and then, but I do the conflict. It's an additional conflict. In addition, there's many times where I'll do a regular card conflict and an additional one. Yeah, I'm just kind of clarifying that who I'm targeting. I can target somebody who already has Night Watch. There are rulings that says that is allowed. It just basically means, and I'm explaining them now. If it's successful, I can still play the aftermath, despite it already having Night Watch. Basically, just means I can't. Doesn't actually resolve to anything. It's just a win or lose in aftermath. Okay, so yeah, I spent 5. I got for every inner circle character with Night Watch, I get extra spending influence. So right now I have 4 influence, which are also 4 power, +1 additional spending influence. So that's why I have the 5 needed to promote him up. Now we're just kind of having a quick conversation about whether or not Linear can participate, because I did diplomacy conflict because I was worried about Linear coming in. Let's load up Linear here. Now so his intrigue may only be used to oppose intrigue conflicts. So he could still oppose my conflict, and because he has a strike mark, but he can't attack back, or he can't oppose or directly attack my character. He can only oppose it, which would then lose it because he's only got 1 intrigue by default. So he's building his influence there. Yeah, supporting my conflict for 1. Again, basically basing it around that he can't. Yeah, I'm asking if he's going to attack with Delenn. Let me look up this Delenn. She has transformed this one here. This is actually another one I recently was able to get for him on eBay, and it's a fun card, really. The same thing. This is the first game actually I'm playing with this alternate version of Captain Sheridan as a starting ambassador. So and Captain Sheridan is this one. Yes, this one. So the main thing about that is, okay, he's not as high stats, 3 and 3, but I get an additional hand in my starting hand. So rather than Ambassador +3, it's Ambassador +4 cards. So right now we've seen 3 out of the 4. Now we've readied it up. So I'm doing Diplomacy Conflict on him, even though he already has it. And I'm asking him if he has a conflict. Yeah, we're trying our best this game to make notes on it there. I think it's probably more useful in the end that there's going to be some really ridiculous math going on, especially with bonuses both during attacks and then different bonuses that only apply during resolution. So it gets some pretty tricky math. This is the other card of my starting hand, Cocksure. It's an enhancement. I'm just going to explain it to him now. Let me pull it up. So basically that's kind of where I was kind of hoping for maybe not so much attacks, which unfortunately he's not in the mood for. So right now John Sheridan has so I should say that the conflict last turn was unsuccessful. So right now I'm still doing conflict against my guy, trying to get him Night Watch so that I can both he gets a +1/+1 when he becomes Night Watch, and then also I can give him more diplomacy and more intrigue or a conspiracy mark. But now with Cocksure, the idea behind it is that my Night Watch characters get +1 to their abilities, and an additional +1 for each conspiracy mark. So right now, for example, Captain Sheridan, on resolution, he does 3 +2 diplomacy. So I'm not doing. He's asking me if I'm doing the aftermath, so it did succeed. And so I'm going to make him a conspiracy mark. So the idea is, okay, he's now his text gives him +1, so now he's a 2/2 with a conspiracy mark. So now he will resolve to 4 during the resolution round. It's not the same as during attacks. That is only 2, but yeah, you're going to see soon where maybe I regret trying and continue to try that approach. So I'm saying no conflict. Next turn. Yeah, now I'm just explaining to him about the ruling specifically that says, like, yes, if I do the same Night Watch conflict against a character who already has it, they don't get any bonuses. I can't put any additional marks, but I can still play aftermaths. If it's a win or a loss participant, that's still applicable. He's saying no conflict. Spending 3. Okay, so I'm building influence. So now, as far as influence, I'm at 5 influence, 5 power, but I have +2 spending because of my Night Watch characters. So now he's building as well, but you can see he's quite a bit ahead. He did position his tokens so you can see them there. And then I'm spinning additional. So started at 4 +2, so I have 6. So I can build, now that I have them both in a circle, I can build up to 10 pretty fast. Waiting for him to play something else. Or I can't remember if he... Oh, he's bringing... Okay, so he's bringing out... Let me find that card. Religious Cast. Religious Cast. So this is going to be a really nice... He's custom built this deck, which is very nice, actually, to be honest. It's nice that you see he plays his strength. So he is specifically a lot of, or primary focus on Religious Cast. So now they're all going to be getting +1 diplomacy, +1 leadership. Now he's putting these little blue tokens on. You're going to see kind of messy token work because we don't have as many like custom tokens, even in real life. So those blue tokens are representing the +1 diplomacy, +1 leadership. Yeah. Now we're finished that turn. We're ready. Go for the next turn. No conflicts from either one of us. Spending 3 to gain 1. Likewise, each doing the same. I'm wondering, is there a similar warrior cast? Yeah, there is. What does that one do? Same thing. Intrigue and leadership. This is just more for my own sake. He doesn't play these worker. Oh, there's no worker cast. Oh, again, the worker cast being ignored. Oh, he's just reset. This is just a brief blip. You'll see a small resizing of his video because he's using 2 computers. One computer is using the camera to capture his board so I can see it, and the other one is displaying my video so you can see my playing field. And on myself, I have just 2 windows open on a bigger monitor with 2 different accounts via Google Hangouts, meetings, whatever it's called. Yeah, so now he's using, again, the Delenn built-in, where is it here? Transformation. Once per game, you rotate Delenn, so that's what he's doing right now. To search your deck to take Delenn Transform, try Luminary and Chrysalis into your hand. The Chrysalis event does not require War landmarks and does not increase unrest. So, she starts off weaker, the original Delenn. She's got, yeah, he's shuffling his cards right now, just after he's done the fetching. You know, she starts off with lower stats, but what she makes up because Delenn transforms obviously a much stronger character with a lot of built-in marks. He's just writing down the history notes. So I already passed, and now he's passing, picking up some additional cards with the unspent influence. We're both taking advantage of that. Obviously, there's some quiet moments there. If you recognized the slightly different, it's not quite Babylon 5 music that I used on my intro to this video, feel free to leave a comment and let me know if you got it right. It's a tangential to Babylon 5, but not quite. Spending 3, gain 1. So catching up quickly enough because I was able to get 2 inner circle like him. Now he's spending 8. So try Luminary again. He's already fetched that, so now try Luminary. Target Mambar Ambassador. She gets 2 Diplomacy. Mambar attention towards humans cannot rise. So again, it's not war friendly. And she gains a Destiny mark and a Volar mark. And now I'm spending 8 to bring out Hidoshi Miyagi. This one's actually, now I'm surprised that one's actually only in the premiere set. It was not reprinted for the deluxe. But yeah, so he's a human senator, or line senator. So 2 influence, so he's going to boost him up to 10. So nice, gives him the ability to kind of power up. Now we're just kind of commenting about some of the fan sets of the game. The senators that do exist in the original printing, that some of them are, at least one in particular I'm talking about, is included in one of the fan sets, and it's kind of fun. But some of those cards are just way too powerful. I don't think we'll ever actually use them. You'll see that, this game, obviously, this is the first one with more Severed Dreams cards, but we tend to mostly only have cards for, the Premier, Deluxe, Shadows, Psychor, a little bit of Great War. Yeah, but we don't have a lot of the later set. almost nothing for Crusade. I think I have 2 cards, and they're just characters. So he's rotating Delenn to transform her to her. I'm gonna bring out Chrysalis. So what we're just discussing is the fact that this one here says to transfer her aftermath and enhancements. And the previous times that we actually ran this, he actually was discarding the Triluminary, because I don't know why we thought that the Triluminary is supposed to be discarded. But that's why I was asking, oh, you're going to discard? He said, no, actually, I'm not supposed to. And I said, oh, okay, we've been doing it wrong. So that makes it even more powerful, right? Because the Delenn transformed. Delenn transformed. No, she's powerful. The original starting ambassador version is Diplomacy 6, Leadership 3. She's 7 and 4. But coming in with those Vorlon marks, Destiny marks, those are not transferred. However, because the Triluminary has it, that is included. So she's going to have 3 Vorlon marks and 3 Destiny marks, sorry, and plus 2 Diplomacy. So she's going to be coming in pretty strong. So, okay, so I'm doing a Diplomacy conflict now. For Hidoshi to get him Night Watch. I get the first action. He's not playing a conflict. Now we're just asking the question about when we have the same influence, who goes first? She is neutralized, but we're still gonna go with well, I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't checked to see if that's correct, but we're just going to say, assuming we're going off her printed value for initiative order. So I still am going off of 3 Diplomacy versus her 7. So it's supporting that mind conflict. He's unneutralizing Delenn. She has no severe damage, so the way we understand the rules is she rotates herself, and she will flip herself back over, and with no damage tokens. So you have to. Now we're just debating about, okay, how does it work for severe damage? Okay, you rotate and can take a severe damage off. If she had multiple severe damage, you can rotate all of your other inner circle characters with her to fully heal her. Yeah, so we're just kind of debating. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit here. So we're just debating about that, just making sure that now it actually requires the action. So it's not, he can, in theory, other characters can rotate, and she doesn't actually have to rotate for her own healing. Spending 4, approximate 3. This is just straightforward. He is asking what it does, but it's a straightforward card. Just 10 military, but it does help to promote carrots up to the inner circle. One regret that I did have after the fact was I did not spend as much time with securing my characters into the inner circle, to protect them from being neutralized and discarded. And you're going to see it's going to be pretty brutal kind of game. Again, we're still debating. Okay, he's just rereading the rules again. Any inner circle character can rotate to remove a severe damage, but again, the ambassador's full heal is like, he only has 1 inner circle character, so the cuts would be her and him would rotate together, and she would fully heal and flip back over. Yeah, and I guess he's saying that those tokens are not damage tokens. it'll be it'll get confusing later, but I'll try my best to explain the damage tokens later. He's just mauling it over. Where's my mouse? Now we're just doing some other stuff. I'll just skip a little bit here. He's just doing some math. I'm supporting my conflict there. He's got 6 diplomacy by a base before I sort of pump him up. Still checking the cost increase. And he's doing math again. He's passing, and that passes as well. So again, that conflict successful. Again, I'm doing conspiracy tokens again. The Night Watch collaborators. Again, I could be giving him diplomacy. I guess again, I'm just the thought process being conspiracy marks with cocksure. I'm getting +2 during resolution anyways, so I can use that. Oh, he's asking me. It's a friendly game. He's asking if he can play something he forgot to do last turn. Yeah, he wants to play Mode of Beauty. It's a very useful card, and to be honest, it's moment. It's not showing up in my search here. I got confused there. But yeah, Moment of Beauty, basically, he gets some extra spending influence based on his for the 4 landmarks. So I don't have any, so I don't advantage of that, but he's got 3, I think. Yeah. So yeah, 3 additional spending. I'm playing a conflict. He's also playing a conflict. I'm doing disinformation. Disinformation. It's a new card. It's not like the best card because it obviously I do have the conspiracy marks for it. It's not. I don't have media bonuses. Those do exist, but that's not really. In this case, it's basically just a diplomacy conflict. But I have a chance to gain influence, increases unrest. But obviously, if it's unsuccessful, it'll come back. And so he's playing impasse. Impasse. Am I spelling that wrong? Impasse. Yeah, impasse. This is pretty straightforward diplomacy. This is what he's playing. If successful, no action round, which obviously changes things quite a bit. You tend to drop more cards because he got nothing else to spend it on. And only has to succeed by 5 or more to gain influence. So I just, by chance, got lucky. I did get John Sheridan. And so now he's coming out there, which is, to be honest, fantastic. And so, the question is, okay, the replacement, does it require a rotation? Yes or no? And then, again, I'm just kind of clarifying. I mumbled through it, and I didn't explain it properly. But the main thing is that he replaces him. He takes his conspiracy mark because the text on him says when he gains a token that he does not already have, he gets an additional one. So he'll take one over from his previous card, gain an additional one, and then the Nightwatch collaborators will then give him an additional conspiracy mark. So he'll end up with 3, which again would mean he has 4 diplomacy, for example, +1, +3 conspiracy marks. So you can see he will resolve quite a bit, already during a conflict. Now that's resolution. That's going to be different than during attacks, which is going to be difficult. Yeah, we're taking a little bit long to properly get through this because I'm explaining it badly. It's my fault. I should have explained it more clearly. It's not even that controversial of a play on that card. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit. But basically, he's like saying I'm I'm explaining it badly, and he's like, what? You know, it's a lot of. Sorry, I'm just opening up a drink here. If that was making a noise or not. But anyways, so yeah, I spent 10 on that. Yeah, now he's asking me to clarify his stats. So it's 4 plus 4, 2, and 4. Yeah, actually I should clarify. I do have it's the deluxe version, which again he has basically the same stuff, but he gains an additional ability that he can rotate, and depending if it's the first action or not, is spend 3. I can play an additional conflict. So in theory, if I really want to, I don't think I ever do in this game, I could play a conflict card, an additional conflict because of my agenda, and then on my first action, I could rotate him and have another conflict. Um, Pat ends up having a bit of a shortage of conflict cards he complains about. I have an abundance, so I didn't have that problem. But so it turns into a lot more him uh, making sure I lose my conflicts, and unfortunately, a number of them for both of us are, if you fail, reverse the effects, and it becomes a penalty. And I think that's a large part of what slowed down the conclusion of the game. So now he's just clarifying Delenn's stats because again she's religious cast, so she gets a bonus. She's got Triluminary, that's +2, so now it's already +3. Her base was 7, so 7, 8, 9, 10, which is pretty nice. So now she's spending 9, including some of the spending money. Rathen. Those Grey Council guys are pretty awesome. Let's be honest. So again, he's getting a religious cast bonus, so it's 7. Now he's got 8 diplomacy, 1 leadership. Intrigue doesn't change. Alternate attention, that never comes up in this game. I guess if a religious cast wanted to start a war, he's good for that, but no one's doing a war here. There's lots of attacks, but no officially declared war. So again, I'm supporting my conflict, my disinformation. Again, I just explained to him how the cocksure gives him plus to his skills, but during resolution only. So he starts out with 4, and he'll get +4. Now he's just trying to see if he can easily win his conflict and still attack mine. So he's actually going to attack Sheridan specifically. So now he gets a bonus to his diplomacy. He's got base 8 essentially. So his 8 versus my 4, right? So you already can see where gaining those conspiracy marks is fun. But if he's willing to attack, I guess if you had more than 2 players, if one person is aggressively attacking and the other person, you only have one person to worry about, if you get ahead of it, it does obviously make the attacks very effective. Okay, so I'm flipping him over because he did 8 damage, my base 4. He is an ambassador, so I can't be discarded, but I do need to put 4 severe damage on. So I have this little red dice for stuff like that. Yeah, I would just say like my Nightwatch guy, because they're both in he's the only in the circle, and so he will. We're just kind of clarifying. Yes, we can. I'm giving a bonus diplomacy to my guy, so he has 6. Now he's got 7. and he will get +2 resolution. So 7, 8, 9. Now right now Delenn, she's got 10. I'm just asking if that guy, what his diplomacy is. Again, he's got 7 base diplomacy +1, 8. He still took 4 damage. He's passing. I'm supporting my conflict. Yeah, see, I was hoping he would still try to do his conflict, but he basically decided to take advantage of my guy participating in the conflict, and now she's attacking for 10. Now she took 7 damage. Okay, it's not enough to neutralize her, but obviously me losing that senator this early on, you know, yeah. Again, downside of a conflict is that I decide to try to support it and hope he does his conflict. His conflict doesn't have any discount or penalty, I should say, for losing it. So, yeah, so both conflicts failed, basically. We're both passing now. Yeah, his conflict has 0 support. Mine, in the end, has no support left. I do lose influence, and I do increase my unrest. So the failed conflict causing us to lose influence is going to be frequent. I am using an aftermath, assigning blame. Let me pull that up. Assigning blame is a very straightforward, useful card. Lost aftermath. Never play a diplomacy deck without it. So I do give it -2. Okay, I think he's playing slow. He's playing slow recovery, and he's putting that on my ambassador. However, he's realizing that it's not really. It's a wasted card because if I was rotating to heal myself, um, basically it just means I can't heal myself. But as far as rotate all of my inner circle characters, that ability it doesn't. We don't think that applies to this aftermath. So yeah, it was like a wasted card essentially. He's picking up some extra cards. I'm getting my regular draw. So Delenn's reduced down there. She's at 1 health left. I said no conflicts again because I'm at 9 now, so I declare first. He's debating it. Yeah, he's also doing no conflict. On my first action, I'm passing. Now we're just double checking about the how do they heal regular damage. And he's basically gonna heal her up there. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit while he checks that. Yeah, we're just gonna clarifying that fleet damage you do need to pay influence to repair fleets, but for inner circle characters you can just rotate, heal, and you're done. Yeah, he's putting shadow marks. So again, this is the start of the. Well, not really the start. I guess there's existing tokens for diplomacy there, but he's using his shadow tokens because neither one of us is playing shadow cards for the most part. He's putting those down as a reminder about the aftermath that I have on him to minus diplomacy. Now we're just double checking that. Yeah, he still has to rotate. Yeah. Now we're just debating some other stuff about record keeping, like we're putting down on our notepads, essentially. Rathan's also. Something actually I'm thinking about is he's rotating to heal his character. His character is not in the inner circle yet. Can he do that? Maybe. Didn't think anything of it at the time, but now I'm wondering. I'm gonna. Oh, he's bringing out. So I'm just digging out my rule book here now. He's bringing out Draw. Let me pull him up. Now, Draw is an interesting character, both in the show, but it is Draw. But he just casts when attacking being attacked. He applies his damage first. Now he's got 3+1 because of the religious cast. And it is going to be a very useful card for him because essentially if he can manage to neutralize somebody with their attack first, then he's going to walk away scot-free, right? Let me just double check about that healing thing. We're deciding about conflicts. He said no, but he's saying yes, he is playing one. Heal character, page 42. Tester metal, let me pull that up. Tester metal. Two factions, same race, target faction, other race. So we get double diplomacy. Oh, you know what? Oh wow! I just saw something that we did not realize at the time because we have Tester metal. We both have it from the premiere set. So let me just I'll show you what I mean here. So Tester metal and gain double diplomacy while participating in the conflict. Now we didn't think anything of it because this is how we've always played it. That means so we would end up doubling his diplomacy, which he has pretty high numbers. My doubling was not taking effect because, of course, my stuff is only during resolution. However, I see now in the later version, in the deluxe, which should supersede it, it actually says characters use your two races apply double diplomacy during resolution. So same to my marks. Wow, this would have really changed the game. Not necessarily I would win. I'm not saying that, but it's this is a huge difference because a lot of the times, he was coming in. Oh, he's got a guy. It's got 7, double 14, and hitting my guy who's got 4, double 8, and hitting me pretty hard. Whereas if it's supposed to be double at resolution, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is such a huge mistake. I mean, we both made it. It's a friendly game. You'll see this multiple times where we forgot to play a card. Next turn, hey, sorry, I forgot to play this card at the end. Sure, go ahead. Or, hey, I'm going to bring this out. Does this make sense? No, not really. Okay, never mind. I'm going to bring out this card instead, on the same action. So it's, we wanted to have fun, to be honest. So, oh man, now it's just painful. I'm going to leave this up for now, just to shake my head. But the fact that we were playing with it doubling, essentially we were doubling the diplomacy during attacks. Something else I wanted to mention is, we've been, my brother and I, we played this game when it first came out. I lost most of my cards, actually, unfortunately, during a move, and only within the last year and a bit that I've started to get back into it. I've started to pick up unopened starters and picking up boosters off of eBay, and I've started picking up some mixed cards. So now I'm sponsoring Pierce Maccabee. Let me bring him out. Pierce Maccabee. This is a new card here. Might as well be a senator, how he acts. But so he's Night Watch by default. He gets double during resolution. He's not going to survive very long. Again, he's got Night Watch. He does not have any conspiracy marks. So he would get +1 during resolution. And then if it's supporting a Night Watch conflict card I initiated, then I played that other card earlier. Yeah, now he's just commenting that he forgot about his agenda discount, so he's been missing out on the discount for a while now. So yeah, he's got 4 diplomacy. He would get +1 during resolution, but also doubling that. So in theory, he could support with 10. on my conflicts that are Night Watch initiated. So now he's promoting Rathan up. What am I doing? I just said, yeah, I'm gonna. Do I do it? I'm gonna probably kill my guy. He's just reminding me that draws does damage first. So he's being, he's trying to make sure it's up front, not sneaky. Hey, yeah, that's the type of stuff you would notice in real if it's an in-person game. Like I said, we do these games, try to do them once every 2 weeks at least. Him and I are in different time zones, so a lot of the times it is wake up early before, gotta get kids ready for school and work to play these games. But this one, the tables turned on this one. This one was in his evening, and he was playing without dinner, but he just wanted to play. So thank you again, Pat, for sticking around and playing hungry. So any aftermaths? What's he doing? He's personal sacrifice. That's what is it? Personal. Where's personal sacrifice? There it is. Why is that not showing properly? There we go. Target put his ambassador, and damage required to neutralize drops by 2. However, she gets +2 diplomacy when she supports a conflict. Yeah, now we're just double checking the fact that it does increase her ability. So for other cards, but basically whenever she does support, let's say she's got double, she gets double diplomacy, it would be double plus the 2, that kind of stuff. But we're just debating that, to keep that. Just skipping a little bit here. Now we're just making jokes about magic cards and what's an instant versus an interrupt for this. He's at 11 influence. I'm at 10. Or no, I'm at 9 because I lost an influence from that one. Turn 12. So I have 9, and I have +2 spending because of my Night Watch agenda. Am I doing a conflict? I'm just counting up his diplomacy rankings. They all got +1 because again they're all religious caste. Come on, past Nick. You're being slow to decide. I'm allowed to criticize myself on these recap videos. I've decided that's an ongoing rule. I'm still criticizing both of us for not realizing that they fixed the printing of the tester metal to say it's only on resolution to avoid the chaos that we had. Okay, so I'm playing a conflict card. We're both diplomacy, so that's why I risk them. Again, we're playing impasse again. If it's successful, no action round next turn, and if I win by 5, I gain. Impasse. Move that up. John Sheridan. What's he doing? He's spent 11, because again I have 9 +2 for Luis Santiago. It should be a good card. Again, he will not stay long. Let's see if this is the same. I have this version of it. I actually have both. I only have one in this deck, but I actually do have both. Different pictures, that's all. Still, 12 diplomacy should be great. The fact that I can't make him in a circle, I guess, removes that excuse of, oh, why didn't I put him in a circle to protect him? I can't. So, yeah. But now he becomes like a prime target. Oh, yeah, I was looking. I'm going to look up before. Can you heal? Because he healed the guy. No, okay, so it just says that any characters are face up and ready may rotate to remove all damage on the character. It's only when it's neutralized as being a neutral inner circle character, allow you to bring them back. So again, he's promoting him up. Again, Drawl's coming in there. Kind of, he's 3+1 diplomacy, but he's that's his damage. Again, I'm just hoping he's gonna let me get this through. I am doing this at 9. I haven't gained rebuilt my influence yet. So even if I win this conflict, I'll only be back up to 10. But I'm trying it anyways. So now I'm supporting for 12 diplomacy. There's no doubling. You can see him doing the math there. I'm going to do a little bit of a jump here. He's just commenting on background noise because my kids are playing their video games not too far away. That's part of the reason for this recap, because if you guys had to listen to this audio, you'd be like, what is that noise? What's going on in Paw Patrol? Okay. He's playing for the good of all. For the good of all. So, yeah, again, any sort of neutralization he gets this turn, and for Destiny Marks. So, Delenn has 3 Destiny Marks, I think, so he's going to get 6 extra spending money next turn. Delenn is attacking Santiago. Again, he's taking advantage of the fact that I can neutralize and he can very easily bring her back. Again, yeah, because she takes 2 less damage to neutralize. So his 12. So I'm putting my dice on to track how much damage he's got. 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's knocked down quite a bit, and he's got other characters sitting there. Now he's just realizing. Let me look it up here. I don't know exactly what it is. He just remembered that Linear. While Linear is ready, Linear may take all damage inflicted in an attack on Delenn in her place. He then rotates. So he didn't rotate. I guess the way that the text is written, does that mean he can tap it after? Like she takes the damage and then he rotates Linear. So, but I think he just realized because we already finished the attack that he didn't technically do it. And I guess he didn't want to, ask for that change. Yeah, now I'm just asking. I'm asking if I can attack Delenn. She's already neutralized with severe damage. Can I attack her more? Just try to. I don't know why I want to do that because again, I can't discard. I can't discard her, and he just rotates all his inner circle anyways to remove all that stuff. So it's just a silly, it's a silly ask. I'm just clarifying the numbers on Maccabee. 9 support right now altogether between the two. So Drawl's now attacking Maccabee. Now, again, Drawl, he does 3, 4 damage. Again, he gets 4 in the total. now I'm already saying that, I don't think I'm going to put... I already talked before about, like, okay, this will be the first game that I put on YouTube. And then I just said, oh, wow, I'm already regretting. I don't think I'll post this online, but here I am. I'm recording the commentary, I know. Yeah, so now we're just saying that Maccabee, he does 4 damage because his base Maccabee. Where's Maccabee? Yeah, basically saying he's got 4 diplomacy, so in theory he would do 4 damage back to Draw, but because Draw does his damage first, that means he's already attacked, neutralized, and Maccabee's got 0 to hit back with. He's not in the inner circle, so he's will be discarded. I just went ahead and got rid of him. So I'll be popular support to Santiago. I'm trying to get to win by 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4, 5, 6. Try to get above 5. Did I already build back influence back up to 10? Yeah, now he's attacking again. Yeah, so he's attacking them. He just wants to kill Santiago. Again, Santiago did not last at all, really. Yeah, now I'm going to do 4 damage left over to attack back. Sheridan, again, who is also in the outer circle, he's going to take 4 damage. Not enough to neutralize, but he's already neutralized again. So that turn alone there, some 2 decent human characters already removed. Now, Wadded Up, of course, I can't promote into the circle, but Maccabee, retrospective, in retrospect, I should say, I should have promoted Maccabee before I get him involved in a conflict. I don't need to get him into Nightwatch because he already is. So in theory, if I just waited a turn, used my location to promote him easier, and then he's a little bit safer in the inner circle, and he would need to still get 8 damage to be neutralized enough to discard an inner circle. Yeah, so now I'm attacking with my guy. Again, he's got 2 and 2, and then he is neutralized with 2. So I guess, yeah, he's not discarded because he would need to have 1 more to be removed. But my guy, because his text says if he's a Nightwatch character, he does 3 damage to a different race than me, so he does 5. So I'm playing an Enraged card. That's kind of, we call it attacks. Figurative do mark on him. Yeah, so now he's just counting up how many characters of his got neutralized for the sake of bonus spending in this coming turn. So he's good. So, what he had left over, drew additional cards. So yeah, so from now on, he has to spend 1, or else his his ambassador's diplomacy will be reduced to 0. Even with her other aftermath, she's still coming in quite, she's still a lot of diplomacy. But again, we're going to have our tester medal come up because we're both playing diplomacy decks essentially, so we're both playing tester medals, and every time we double the diplomacy, it was supposed to be during resolution, but alas, we didn't realize that because we were playing with the original one. That doesn't say that. Like, we had talked about the fact that my stuff says at resolution the conflict does not, and the consequences of that, but we never thought to actually look it up. Yeah, we're just double checking. Now we're just double checking about the severe damage. I rotate, I remove 1 point of severe damage, so now it's down to 1 damage, and I can't just do it all in one go with all my characters in their circle like I can with the ambassador. So yeah, he's healed up Delenn. Now he's just talking about what turn we're on. We're just double checking. Okay, so she can rotate to remove all the severe damage, and yeah, so it's basically saying is she can do the same thing. Rotate, remove severe damage, but he can remove all of the severe damage if he rotates all of his inner circle character cards. So he's only one severe damage on Rathan, and so that means he could rotate, flip him over. Now next turn he'll be back. He's back to normal essentially. So it's just like I say, he's going out of order. His planning is trying to figure out if he can um, rotate Rathan, remove the severe damage, bring him back to normal, and then still do the whole rotate all inner circle characters to heal your ambassador. Now, this is, I think, going to lead into a little bit of debate. He's saying, well, technically all of them are rotated on the same turn. I said, no. The whole point is that they're all working together to heal her. So instead, he's rotating draw, spending 12. Again, he's got a lot of extra spending money. 10 for that, 2 more. Good old war leader fleet. I both love and hate these Minbari fleets. I mean, I don't think we've had a single military conflict in this game. Although, I bet there was at least one time, maybe two, that you'll see that there is a level the playing field used on that fleet. So 12 for 11. I mean, it's an expensive card, but still wonderfully powerful fleet. And let's be honest, that text on there about it's kind of forcing you to use that fleet first, which is fine. I don't know if I gotta spell this character's name right. Shalmayan. Oh no, it's actually not that bad. So yeah, this is a really nice card, isn't it? Okay, so rotate, apply 5 wounds to ready an inner circle character who is rotated. If that character participated in a conflict, he may not participate in the same conflict. Now later in the game, I will play Hour of the Wolf, which is essentially a manual version of that. Hour of the Wolf. Which is also nice, right? Ready inner circle character who's rotated. Again, they can still do the same action, but they just can't participate in the same conflict. But it's a nice little, oh, hey, I've rotated my character. Don't worry about him. He's not available for the conflict. Oh, wait, now he is. That kind of activity. But there's going to be a really wonderful combo in a little bit that we're going to see with that character of his. Okay, now we're readying the characters. Finish that turn. Are we playing conflicts? I don't really have anybody to target for my agenda conflict, so I'm passing. No conflict. Yeah, so nobody's doing any conflicts. Now we're just making jokes about Nightwatch characters having meetings and Sheridan's all by himself. Everybody present? Do we have a quorum? Yes, that kind of jokes. It's just, you don't need to hear that out for bad jokes. Yeah, and I'm just commenting on how many things I've had neutralized already, and I haven't. Well, I technically neutralized a card, but I haven't discarded anything on hers. Yeah, I've lost 3 characters already. A president, a senator, and a Nightwatch representative. They're all pretty good, in my opinion, diplomacy cards, basically. What's Delenn do? Again, he's not doing the whole everybody rotate. He's just doing she's reducing her severe damage, which is fine. Slower, but if he wants to take advantage of the time, if I'm not doing any conflicts, he can be doing other activities. Human aid. Again, the human. It's nice 4 for 3. So slightly more expensive, like human agents 3 for a 2 intrigue. This is 4 for a 3 diplomacy, but still 3 diplomacy is decent. multiple. So, you know, they help fill out the ranks. They're helpful aids. Yeah. I said pass, and he's like, "Oh, I almost said pass. Oops." You know, if he double passed before he was ready, he would have regretted it. I don't know why my mouse is popping up the screen. I don't know what I was doing on the computer. Sorry about that. That's in the video. I can't get rid of that now. Oh, healing device. Healing artifact, I should say. So yeah, again, he's going to be able to, if he wants to, move around the severe damage. You know, to focus it into one person. But it does say specifically not your ambassador, because otherwise you could just send it all to the ambassador. You rotate everybody else in the inner circle, and that heals your ambassador. You know, that's not going to trick them. So yeah, he's just saying like, yeah, he could siphon some of the damage um, off of yeah, transfer. Yeah, basically he could just shuffle it around. I think he does it maybe once or twice together. It's not that common of an event. Still neat. It's already turned 14. I think we got up to, I don't know what, 30 something. So by turn number, we're only halfway through, but by the duration, it's not even halfway. I'm debating if I want to do a conflict on my guy or not. See, I really shouldn't be doing this. I should be focused on not doing those conflicts, get them in the inner circle first, and it gives them a little bit more of a chance to protect them. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have any heavy hitters right now. Sheridan is the one who can do the most, and while he can't be discarded, he still only has a base high skill is 4 diplomacy. Well, diplomacy's 4 and leadership's 4, but yeah, basically he's got 4 health points equivalent. Doing an intrigue conflict again. I'm hoping to get around. He's got 2 intrigue, and then I got 3, 4, so he got +4 on resolution. And then my other guy is just asking, how much intrigue do you have? You know, again, the cocksure conspiracy mark stuff means it's all the bonuses are on resolution. So the question is whether or not they can survive long enough to actually get to resolution and so to do the support. He still has to decide if he wants to do a conflict. I think I was just bumping the mouse there. I don't think I even realized that the mouse cursor was coming up. Then he was opposing the conflict for 3. Yeah, just 3. Because he gets a bonus to diplomacy, not intrigue. Skip ahead a little bit while I don't know what we're waiting on right now. I just try to do math, I think, about whether or not I can successfully squeeze by. He's already posing for 3. My guy, you know, he can support for essentially 4. Now, if he gets attacked, he does do +3 damage. And linear also has a strife mark. But I mean, I guess the question is just whether or not I bother to attack linear. Linear would do a 3 + 2, 5. My guy would not survive that. That'd be enough to discard him. John is supporting my conflict. He's doing 2 support, but it would resolve to 6 in resolution round. Delenn spending 5 for, or what is she doing? Yes, the Minbari fighting pike. Minbari fighting pike, where is that?
this thing to load up, sorry. There we go. Weapon cannot be used with any other enhancement. Can do a Minbari or Ranger. Can only be a Minbari or a Ranger character or Marcus Cole. Although isn't Marcus Cole a Ranger? That just seems weird. Anyways, gains a strife mark and additional strife mark while participating in an intrigue conflict. So it's particularly brutal. It costs 5. You'd think it would cost more. It's supposed to be this like holy fighting instrument. Taught by Durhan himself. I don't know if Durhan has a character card in the game. I'm in the middle now of reading the City of what's it called again here? It's To Dream in the City of Sorrows, the quote-unquote canonical Babylon 5 book, which deals with Marcus's days at the Ranger School. Sorry, I skipped over there. So Rethan attacked John. Again, he's got 2 intrigue and essentially 2 strife marks. So 6. So he does 6 damage. I have 4 base high skill, so 2 severe damage. But yeah, so now I'm not currently doing any support for my conflict. Now I'm supporting with my guy. Right now he supports for 2. It would resolve the 4. Yeah, supporting for 2. Yeah, I think it's just going to confirming linear is opposing with 3, so if nothing else happens, I would technically win the conflict. Not that big of a deal for him. I think he's happy just to neutralize my ambassador. So he's readying Delenn with his character. Again, that's a very useful card, that character. The good old level the playing field. How many conflicts does that come into play? So now it's level the playing field. So now he's just double checking the bonuses because obviously some of the stuff she has is bonuses only whenever supporting a conflict. So okay, it's not even against her. Sorry. Yeah, so he's using a level playing field on the fleet. That's one action, but so now he technically hasn't done the other action. Will be the actual opposition with 11 military. And he's just joking because he said like, yeah, of all our games, there's been so few times he actually managed to get a level the playing field whenever he could have really used one. Now he gets it though. So yeah, so he blocked my conflict. To be honest, it was a bit of an overkill for such a small conflict. Now he's actually applying the opposing the conflict. Pass. So turn's done. Conflict fails, but I gotta neutralize ambassador. Any aftermath? No, I guess not. No conflicts, either one of us. And now he's just kind of commenting like, yeah, he's been not getting many conflict cards in general, but because I keep playing those conflicts, he's got plenty of opportunities. Anyways, again, I really should have been. I think I was just thinking, okay, I got lots of other characters. I can recover them back, but I was really just giving him lots of things to shoot down. It's still fun, but it's still very brutal. So again, I'm rotating all my inner circle character cards to turn my ambassador back up. I'm asking him if he has been paying the tax, the spend 1 influence for Delenn to not have 0 diplomacy. But he's saying he hasn't had to because she hasn't been participating in diplomacy conflicts anyways. Yeah, her leadership's still intact. Not that, I guess she could have led the fleet too, right? It wasn't necessary last time. Yeah, the thing he made the point about was that the war leader's fleet, so readying Delenn was more of a bluff in case I had another action. Basically what he was saying, which is fine. I didn't, but he was just going, okay, I'll ready Delenn, use up another action, then play the level of the playing field, and to try to be responding to my actions, not. Okay, now he's bringing out a bar aid. I'm just going to bring that up quickly, but I know that Minbari aid is 3 diplomacy. It's similar to the human aid. Delenn. Now this guy is fun. Delenn. This is we're making jokes because he's like for anybody who's watched Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyan races explanation for their fighting ability is largely based around losing battles and getting stronger as a result of it. So essentially, if you get beaten nearly to death, when you recover, you'll be automatically get a power boost, and it becomes a plot point. So I'm basically saying that that's what this guy is. He's got a Super Saiyan level of regenerative ability. So you're going to see he's going to. It's a really good combination. He's going to be using this guy, rotate and neutralize himself. He gains a diplomacy. Starts off with 3, goes 4, 5, etc. If anybody plays a sponsors Minbari character, I'm not playing Minbari. It's not going to happen. So what happens is he neutralizes himself, gets stronger. Neutralizes himself, gets stronger. But then he's got that lady there that spends 5 to ready a character. She could ready him. So he neutralizes himself and he heals himself back up, flips himself back over. It's fantastic. Okay, so we're on the next turn. So I'm spending the money with the discount, bringing up my aid. I think I said I'm doing a diplomacy conflict. I think I'm doing a diplomacy conflict for Nightwatch on my aid, but I'm not sure how I think I'm going to be able to pass it. Yeah, he's bringing them up to the inner circle. Essentially, yeah, you can see the row with the fleet is supporting characters. Delenn is. Because he didn't pay her tax, or diplomacy reduced, so now he's using her to promote. Kind of like, okay, I'm not going to use her this turn anyways. What am I spending now? Just double checking my math, because right now I have 10 plus 2, 12 spending. What am I doing? No, he's right. Okay, because I got the conspiracy marks, so I did throw in a couple of conspiracy, sidecar cards. Matthew Stoner. Let me pull him up. He's an interesting guy. Like it's primarily a diplomacy deck, but obviously it has some intrigue, especially with the agenda. So yeah, I guess I must have said it's an intrigue conflict. So now he's got 4 intrigue. Great, 1 to Psy, whatever. But if he gets attacked, other than with Psy, he only takes 1 damage. This is like the best best thing I could hope for to maybe be as similar to his drawl, because drawl is just knocking people out and not taking any damage because he would kill them first. This guy's like, okay, you can hit me with 20, doesn't matter, I only take 1 damage. It's great. This is probably the most effective card I play in the whole game, as far as attack's concerned. Really happy I put that in there. I think it was when I was building my deck, I realized, okay, I got all these conspiracy marks for the resolution phase aspect, but I think I realized that, like, oh, okay, throw in a couple of sidecore stuff. I need conspiracy marks to play them if you're not sidecore. You'll see at least 2 other sidecore cards be played in this game. What's he doing? He's counting his money. Or no, okay. He's Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So the conflict with we're doing any conflicts. I think I did diplomacy conflict, but I didn't support it because it just fizzled. I should have done intrigue. So now I'm doing the intrigue conflict on my aid. Now that I have Stoner out. Okay, he's got a conflict card. Affirmation of power, another classic. Affirmation of power. No, that's affirmation piece, sorry. This one. There we go. So, successful Babylon 5, gain influence in him as well. 10 or more, an additional. If fails, Babylon 5. Now we're just double checking about the agenda. If his, sorry, the aftermath, I should say, if he has to pay that tax at the beginning or not. I'm gonna put up the right one here. So yeah, again, he's just double checked about he has to pay that influence cost for make sure Delenn has her diplomacy this turn. So my first action, I'm playing Taking Credit, which is a diplomacy conflict. It'll make it kind of an interesting turn. This is actually a really fun turn, to be honest. Sorry, taking. Oh, okay, it doesn't want to respect the home key. Taking credit. So this has to be my first action, but basically now I have a conflict that targets his conflict, and if I win, then I would get any influence gained from that conflict. Now, if it doesn't gain any influence, I don't get anything. So, question is, do I support my conflict? No, I'll have to support my conflict. I don't have to object. I don't have to oppose his. But now he has to be like, okay, he has to support his own and oppose mine in order to gain influence. But if his conflict fails, he can still lose influence. Now we're just kind of debating about, okay, yeah, exactly that point. Yeah, now we're just double checking that his action, it does not to pay the aftermath for his character to have diplomacy doesn't. Now he's playing some other stuff here. Raising the stakes. Pull this up here. Again, that's his first action. His influence paid for his master to have diplomacy is not an action. It's just as the part of the start of the action round. Anyway, so that's his first action. Target a conflict. He's targeting his conflict. If he wins by 5 or more, he gains a destiny mark. Otherwise, he's going to get a doom mark. Basically, is what it is. So it's a little bit extra to be gained or lost. Just skip ahead a little bit. Or no? Whose turn is this? I think it's my turn right now. John is sponsoring Frederick Lance. Frederick. This guy is nice, okay, it's nice. 7 diplomacy, great. Now his special text is like, okay, if there's any conflicts that reduce tension, he has to basically participate in it. I will only say that while it's nice to have a 7 diplomacy character, I mean, he paid his guy who cost 8, I think, and he had Did he have 7 diplomacy? Let me just double check. I just think he's also. It's. I play him. Yeah, see, look, this guy costs 9. Costs the same. He has 7 diplomacy and 2 intrigue. So he's got other stuff, and he's got a better text ability. You know, Frederick Lance, it's nice to have a 7 diplomacy, but you know, he should cost a little bit less. Maybe cost 8 instead of 9. I have senators that cost 8 and have 7 diplomacy, 2 intrigue. So they already got better stats than him, and they cost less. I don't know why he costs 9. You know, and especially because his tax is not so bad, but it's not a good thing. So Stoner is okay, because again, I'm still trying to do the Night Watch thing on my Human Aid. It's an intrigue conflict. Stoner is supporting it. He's just double checking who the target of the intrigue conflict is. So I'm covering on that basically. Okay, he's supporting affirmation of power. He's got to do some math on it. Because he's got the +2 for one, the -2 for my aftermath on him. The religious cast, so 7 + 1, those other. And then triluminary, yeah, on top of that. So 7, 8 + 2, 9, 10. Yeah. The fact that Delenn gets triluminary and then transforms essentially means, okay, well, it's a separate card you could target maybe. She's basically always going to be 7, 8, 9 at least. Skipping ahead because we're just thinking too long. At this point, we got so many cards. You know, we've accumulated quite a lot of stuff. It takes us a while to decide. His word. Okay, so my guy is supporting the conflict, and again, my guy, he doesn't have a strife mark, but it's 2 + 3, 5 damage I'm giving. So he's attacking him. That means he is neutralizing my guy first because he does 4 damage. Again, so it's damage, 2 severe damage, so barely there, I think. Right, yeah, it is. So I just flipped him over. I didn't even bother to put this stuff on yet. We're meowing back at his cat, who's participating in now. Okay, so whose action is it now? Skipping ahead here. Just double checking the counts, how much he won by. Just doing double check math. He's opposing my intrigue conflict for 2 intrigue. Now I guess the linear is also there, so it's 3 + 2. Frederick Lance is supporting my taking credit. So yeah, I'm supporting my conflict. He was just double checking that. I'm not opposing his because it is better to try to at least get his influence. So now he's spending 5, and again he's going to ready Delenn. Delenn previously did a different action, opposing my conflict now for 8. Because again, it's not support +2 support diplomacy, so it's doesn't have that. So she's opposing for 8. Double checking just quickly how much they're opposing with what's left. So I'm opposing his conflict for 3, because right now he's only winning by 3, so. Yeah. His 8 is supporting his conflict now for 4. He's not attacking. It's surprising. So right now he would technically win the conflict. He is opposing the taking credit, so that would take that out. But he would still gain the influence from his conflict. But it's not the 5, so he'd still going to gain it. He would gain a do mark, basically. So I'm spending 3 over the wolf, so it's like he's got that character that gives that ability, but I have to do it the old-fashioned way. So, previously he had rotated to bring out Lance, but now I'm unrotating him, so now he can now participate in a conflict. He's saying, yeah, good job on that one, because he didn't expect it. Now I'm opposing his conflict. So essentially I've given up on my taking credit. Delenn is opposing that. I'm not going to win it. I guess I could, but I'm just basically choosing to make sure he doesn't get a dusty mark and make sure he loses an influence, rather than I gain his influence. Kind of, yeah. It's that kind of game. So right now it's going to be 4 diplomacy plus 4 during resolution. So I'm opposing with 8. Now he's passing because he got nothing left. He didn't expect that. Yeah, that was a fun one. So he's going to gain a do mark, and yeah, that one failed, basically. Both conflicts failed. That's basically what we're kind of confirming. And he gains a do mark, or she gains a do mark, and he loses an influence, and Babylon 5 loses an influence. So we are going now to push pause on that, and we are going to take a break, and I will start the recording on the next part. We are about an hour and a half into the game. We'll see if the next one, if I can get through more than an hour and a half, but it is a 4.5-hour game. So this will be a multi-part series, a trilogy perhaps, extended edition, re-released. But yeah, so I will see you next time, and thank you for tuning in, and have a good day.